Otto Johann Anton Skorzeny was born on the 12th of June, 1908 in Austria's capital city, Vienna. Skorzeny would attend the Technical University of Vienna after wanting to be an engineer like his brother and father. Skorzeny had a passion for fencing, and he would participate in the sport as a student. It would be during one of these fencing matches that left Skorzeny with a large permanent scar on the left side of his face, something that was seen as a badge of honor in German and Austrian society at the time. This scar gave him the lifelong nickname of Scarface. Speaking of Austrian society, Skorzeny would join the Austrian Nazi Party in 1930 and be very much in favor of uniting with Germany, which would happen in the form of the Anschluss in early 1938. After the Anschluss, Skorzeny would work under future Nuremberg trials victim Ernst Kaltenbrunner, who stood at 6 foot 4 inches tall, just like Skorzeny did. After the German invasion of Poland in September 1939, Skorzeny wanted to join the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force. However, he was turned down because of his tall height and 31 years of age. Skorzeny would end up joining the elite Waffen-SS, specifically the Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler, the Führer's personal bodyguard unit. When Operation Barbarossa commenced and Nazi Germany attempted to take over the Soviet Union, Skorzeny would participate in the invasion as a member of the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich. In 1942, Skorzeny was hit in the back of the head in combat by shrapnel on the Eastern Front and was evacuated to be treated. While in recovery in Berlin, Skorzeny began to think about using unconventional tactics in combat. He thought about operating behind enemy lines, misconception, operating in secrecy, misinformation spreading, espionage, and sabotage. Before long, Skorzeny was in contact with the aforementioned Kaltenbrunner, who introduced him to high-ranking SS security serviceman Walter Schellenberg, one of the highest-ranking members of the SS's security service, the SD. Schellenberg eventually got Skorzeny to be in charge of schools that would teach his ideas about sabotage and espionage and how to use them in warfare successfully. Perhaps the most famous mission Skorzeny would spearhead would be the one Hitler personally put him in charge of, to rescue fellow fascist dictator Benito Mussolini of Italy. Mussolini was ordered arrested as his Italian fascist regime collapsed in 1943. Mussolini was being held in a prison high in the Apennine Mountains in Italy. On the 12th of September 1943, Skorzeny, along with SS men and Fallschirmjäger troops, successfully raided the prison and freed Mussolini. This mission was a big success for Skorzeny, who was praised for this achievement and was awarded the Iron Cross, the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross, the highest military decoration in Nazi Germany. Now getting into the latter half of 1944, the situation was not looking great for the Third Reich. Hitler was desperate and put Skorzeny in charge of Wehrwolf, a secret resistance movement meant to slow and inhibit the quickly advancing Allied forces in the West. German soldiers, part of this resistance, would operate behind enemy lines and harass the Allies with espionage and sabotage tactics. Some German soldiers who spoke fluent English would dress as American GIs and spread misinformation among the American soldiers. However, Wehrwolf was not a success, as by early May 1945, Nazi Germany had collapsed and surrendered to the invading Allied forces. Skorzeny was arrested by American troops at the same time. However, unlike many other high-ranking Germans and especially SS men, Skorzeny was not executed, as by September 1947, 4 years after his daring raid to rescue Mussolini, he was found not guilty and not convicted of war crimes. Skorzeny was handed to the authorities in Germany the following year in 1948, but managed to escape captivity and go to Spain, which was sympathetic to the Nazis at the time, under rule of General Francisco Franco. In addition to being affiliated with Francisco Franco, Skorzeny would act as a military advisor to both the Argentine and Egyptian governments, which were led by Juan Perón and Gamal Abdel Nasser, respectively. This is where the story gets interesting. Egypt was a natural enemy with Israel, the new nation that was predominantly Jewish. It also did not help that some of Egypt's rocket scientists had Nazi pasts and that they would possibly destroy Israel. Because of this, the Israeli intelligence service, the Mossad, needed to do something to halt their advance. In a bold move, the Mossad decided to try and recruit Skorzeny to help them. According to Israeli agents, 2 Mossad members met Skorzeny along with his wife at a bar in Madrid, Spain. When the group went back to Skorzeny's residence, Skorzeny pulled a gun on the Mossad agents, intending to kill them after he thought they were there to kill him. However, the agents explained that they wanted his help, and Skorzeny agreed. Following this, Skorzeny met with the head of the Mossad, Israeli Isser Harel. Following this meeting, Skorzeny would help the Israelis by assassinating several scientists, with the most notable being Heinz Krug, whom Skorzeny killed in Germany after driving him out into the middle of a forest and shooting him. In 1970, cancer would be found in Skorzeny, and he would undergo surgery that would leave him paralyzed from the waist down. The so-called most dangerous man in Europe would die due to lung cancer on the 5th of July, 1975 in Madrid, Spain. Thanks for watching.